brings me happiness? I mean, there's a reason I'm not playing Vanessa. I don't mind playing either of the classes. Hey, donations. It feels really one-dimensional right now. I don't know, Pig... I feel like I have the most variety in my builds when I play Pig. It's just, a lot of the Pig games go, like, 4 or 5 wins and then die. But I feel like Pig is the most reliant on hitting really high variance things in the mid to late game to have a functional build. Puffer Vanessa seems very strong right now. Yeah, that is the opposite of my experience, but... The only build on Vanessa that feels good to me, like reliably good, is the flagship build.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge. All about moderation. Oh, delivery's free. I like the exercise.
Find all the pieces on flagship. There's 2 pieces, and they're guaranteed. It's so easy. You can't miss. Yeah, burst is good if you're hitting your upgrades. It's just another comp that I don't really like going for because the lows are so low. Yeah, the comp is just flagship crow's nest and then a bunch of filler. It's pretty hard to miss. The other stuff for freeze bait. Yeah, but there's so many things that fill in those slots. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos of me playing it on YouTube. It just seemed like every Vanessa comp that I played ended up wanting to just go flagship. There was no reason to try anything else. Crit's still toxic. Crit's good if you hit, it's just... the risk of not hitting is very high. Puffer I have more experience playing on the other side of, and it just feels like Puffer doesn't beat anything, so I don't know why I'd want to play it. But, I mean, maybe playing it, it's consistent enough at getting 10 wins that you can play it. If so, I'm glad, because it just means there's more Vanessas playing farmable builds on ladder. Vanessa weapons, it feels... There's a lot of interchangeable pieces as far as what pieces are playable, but they need to upgrade. Like, if you're not hitting upgrades, you're not doing enough damage. $84. Yeah, Vanessa weapons when you could hit the upgrade a weapon and, like, upgrade an aquatic for Shark Claws was way more reliable. Now it feels like you gotta high roll your shops. Or spike a figurehead. You can also spike a figurehead instead of upgrading. But it seems like it's also very hard to find figurehead. And that thing also sort of has to upgrade. Maybe Curio is better than I think it is here. I can see it. Nah, no patch this week, I think. Let's try to get the CDR. The Metacores for Dooley. I would recommend Burn Core as the best one, followed by probably Crit Core. I think Shield Core is better than the Core right now. I'm pretty comfortable if you like Companion and Weaponized or bottom two, though. Boar guy is just impossible. The boar is so rarely beatable that I'm not even sure what his drops are. I just assume that I can never beat him. Half his drops are 0 gold. I think it's also that. He's also just not worth fighting. Let me see. Monsters. Warrior. Oh yeah, his drops are dog shit. You can spike a scrap at gold. Or a sharpening stone at gold. He's got 2 piggles and a gumball. Yeah, it's like, if you're strong enough to fight him, you probably still shouldn't fight him. And most builds are not strong enough to fight him. Does he have skills? He has frontal shielding and strength. So your weapons deal +6 damage, or your leftmost shield has 15 shield. We're leveling anyway. This can be my Walter, right?
Master craftsman. Me? Try my best.
Could still roll into the Walter. That's awkward. Think for Piggles to be worth the hassle. I've played early Piggles with Yo-Yo before. They are fast. I haven't been able to justify them without Yo-Yo.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Think we're winning? I think. Maybe not. Having them in stash. The problem with having them in stash is I never want to pick the level up option that gives them. So like there are maybe some spots where I would consider putting them in. I'm just never in a spot where I actually can put them in.
Like my crew says at the bar, another round.
I'm poor. Playable. I am still poor. There's no world where I'm beating this, but I think we win this.
My life for the Storm Queens.
I mean, we have one of the best companion core items. It's just... This really needs to get the silver.
I will accept my punishment.
Pig is so boring now. I think you can play Pig in a way that is pretty boring. I enjoyed my Pig games yesterday. We had some real spicy Pig games. The problem with Pig is it feels like you're not supposed to commit to anything early, and then you pray that you high roll an item on, like, day 6 or 7 to have a build. 80% Vineyard? I think the Vineyard comp is dog shit, but... yeah, I don't know. It's just so soft to anyone with freeze. And after day, like, 8 or 9, everyone should have enough freeze to beat the Vineyard comp. Not that they always do, but you're never feeling safe going into a fight after day 8.
I would never debase my wares by haggling. Ugh.
Game? I mean, having 50k HP is supposed to be the counter to burst, right?
Buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
The problem is that 50k pig... Wait, what? That 50k pig is just gonna get outscaled by, like, a scaling comp. Like, you can have 50k HP, but it doesn't matter if you run into someone with sharpened corners.
Whoever said money can't buy class had neither.
Is my run bricked? Wait, I've never had this happen before. Well, let me try restarting the whole game. Removed or made rare. I think, like, the bronze free skills are, like, maybe 3 times better than they should be. Yeah, then they just scale to ridiculous numbers. Like, you've got some bronze skills that are, like, +2 damage to all of your weapons, and then you have some bronze skills that are freeze an item for 3 seconds. I don't hate there being playable bronze skills, but... Okay, there we go. Weird.
You
I-
wanna buy that? I mean,
Didn't actually want to buy that, but that's okay.
buyer's remorse never. Be remorseless.
So, we're not getting the Momosaur this early. Eat the chocolate. And there's some heal scaling pigs. Yeah. The problem with all the heal scaling builds is the same. Like, they just lose to freeze builds. And Pig just has the worst access to free skills. Probably the worst access to freeze items, too. Like, he's got Snow Globe, but... Dooley has crazy freeze items. Vanessa has Frost Potion. Mention Sharp Corners. It's a skill. Whenever you gain shield, your weapons gain 20 damage. Freeze should only work once per source. I mean, there's a bunch of things you could change about freeze. It's Mac that has Frost Potion. Yeah. Like, I think Vanessa's freeze skills are more oppressive in general than Frost Potion, but people really love to hate Frost Potion.
Experience fancy's treasure. I will share mine with you.
And look, I can be an equal opportunity hater. We can hate them all if we really want to.
I do not teach violence. I teach mastery over it.
A little late. The docs giving you Star Chart is a little bit sad, but Freeze in general is strong. Yeah. I wouldn't even necessarily say that Freeze right now is making the game worse. But it is very strong for sure. Like, Freeze is a pretty important check on, like, B stuff not feeling really bad to have to fight. It makes the infinite daggers stuff a lot more tolerable. Like, it is disproportionately good. It's good against everything, but it is disproportionately good against the really busted stuff. Still probably not getting Mamasaur. Just don't have that much gold to play with.
Reward the peaceful, punish the...
The worst part about Companion Core is that I don't want to play Beta Ray, because it doesn't speed up the Companion Core. I kind of wonder if everything that I hate about Companion Core is just that you can't... Like, you're punished for playing Dooley's best items when you have a Companion Core on your board. I think I'm still supposed to play it. Like, duct tape's the same way. I have this diamond scrap with duct tape, but... Am I cutting another friend? Or the idea of freeze, since freeze is the opposite of charge.
Go ahead.
Like, slow and haste are opposites.
Underestimate me.
Yeah, like,
To make
I don't
this
hate freeze
more
as a
fun.
mechanic. I think some of the numbers on some of the items or some of the skills are definitely overtuned. And maybe some of the items too. But... Fuck! Am I playing the comp that loses the puffer? The only comp in the entire world that loses the puffer? That's depressing. Wait. Wait. Hold. Imagine losing the puffer.
Bring her
I would
out.
never.
I've got another salvo in me.
Is puffer actually that bad? I think it's terrible. But if you enjoy it, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. If you enjoy it and you're winning with it too. Because there is some asymmetry here where because there's no matchmaking, you only need to be good enough to beat your opponents. So if you're playing better than average puffer boards, and you're beating the other players playing puffer and the other players playing mediocre comps, that is all you need to do. You don't necessarily need to be beating the best comps that people are able to build. I'm gonna eat so much chocolate because max HP is a very strong defensive layer. get a Cove item. Cove is okay. I do see a good amount of puffers playing it. It's just so big. But yeah, like having max HP is big into all of the Vanessa boards. It lets you survive the initial burst of the daggers before your shield builds up. It's nice into Puffer because it's a defensive layer that isn't shield. And most of Dooley's good defense is just shield. It's relevant in pretty much every fight to just have a lot of HP. Gotta get this to silver. It's such a waste, but...
Who sent you? That
It's big, but it's base 3-second CD. It's Aqua. You can get it up to the hundreds pretty easily. Yeah, it's just then you're using like 5 spots on your board on Cove Astrolabe. You've got a Puffer here, and then you're playing 3 small items. Not that it can't work. It's definitely playable. I do still like having slows. It is silver too. I think this is better than a little more charge on the companion core. Wasn't using Astra. Well, yeah, hammer is. You can just write off any game that you get a hammer. Your results in your hammer game are invalid. You should 10 win every game you get a hammer, no matter what you're doing. Really? Yes. Hammer is beyond busted. Not the double whammy hammer, the upgrade hammer from the fight. You just get to get your whole board to diamond. Let's do anything. This is my Momosaur.
This is talking fast.
I'm not going Bulldozer. No. So bad. I don't know, man. There was someone in my chat a couple days ago swearing that Crane Dooley was good. Crane is not friend. Yeah, but it would let us cut companion core.
In and out, here and there, so rushed, so confused.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Ah!
Next time, boys, less blunder.
I thought this was gonna one-shot me. Saved. What's the OP hammer do? Every day you get to upgrade... No, every time you level up, you upgrade the item to the left of it. I think you have to like have 3 tools or something, but the relevant text is every day you upgraded. Every level up you upgrade an item. Yeah, it is messed up. Day 6 shield shop. Should have taken the life. The Great could be really clutch. It's also cheap. Docs! How often do you get to do that on Dooley? Set that hammer wrench tape measure to get that effect. Yeah, I'm curious how it's going to change. Like, surely it has to change when we get the character for it. There's no way that a character can just have that as a bronze item. You don't level up after... Well, against the bot fights, you can put the hammer in play before you take the reward. And you get to put the item where you want it. And usually you're not leveling after a player fight. You can also just, like, have the item that you want to upgrade in your stash. Remind you of a young Crispin Glover. Interesting. Core cooldown? Change the move things around before leveling anyway, just like the brace. I don't know. It is a bit of a weird knowledge check. It's sort of growing on me, having the, like, keeping brace around to make CDR items better, or, like, remembering to put brace in, trying to set up your XP so you're leveling up on the player fight so that you can put brace in for the free 100 HP. I don't hate it. I can sort of see the argument that it's really tedious, but... Yeah, it's not intuitive. It's a little tedious. But, like, the advantage isn't that high. And it is a cool little min-max thing. This is probably more likely to give me the first Aiden, but... Yeah... Take that Glover comment. I don't know. Should I not? I don't know who that is. Freedom, knowledge, advantage. Playing for a couple weeks, didn't know that's how the hammer works. I think the new player experience is going to slowly become worse. Is it, though? Like, it's not like the advantages are insurmountable, and it does give, like, aha moments to new players. Of like, oh, that's how that works. Yeah, hammer XP is whatever. I think if you're gonna say, like, the bracer with CDR items, that's a little unintuitive. Or, like, the leveling up in the player fight to put bracer in to get 100 HP without the downside of bracer. Like, I'd point to those two things as being very unintuitive, but kind of cool. I don't know. The advantages are fringe enough that it's not, like, game-breakingly bad if you don't know about them. It works in a way that makes Bracer a cool item the more you learn about it.
Come to steal my potions, filthy beast.
Bracer feels like an oversight. I think I agree, but I don't think it's a problematic oversight. Like, when I found out how Bracer works, my reaction wasn't, like, negative about it. Other than, wow, I'm going to have to
Back to the past.
put this in to make my CDR items better. But it went from being an item that was useless to being an item that had some cool applications for making other stuff better. Yeah, like, the whole use of the Bracer right now is around the trickiness with it. If there's an issue with it, it's that it's invisible in the player fights, so you're not going to figure it out just by playing the game. Because you don't see the Bracer on other people's boards, you can't see their bench to know that they're holding a Bracer. So you never ask the question of... like, what are they doing with Bracer? Because you just don't see it. It would be nice if it was more visible so you could learn by playing rather than having to, like, watch streams.
Poison is medicine's opposite. I am a doctor of sorts. Poison is the weapon of nobility, of planning and control. I thank you.
What are these?
Strike calmly and wait. Watch your enemy fall.
I have a toxic fiber optics. I think it's fine as they wanted it. You know, you're very strong in early game fight. The problem is, if you're very strong in early game fights, I still wouldn't want to risk that big of a downside just to try to get 100 HP. It's just so important to win fights. Like, I've never been in a spot where I have wanted to play Bracer fair. And I have been very strong in the early game plenty of times. It's just never a risk that I want to take. Knee brace more, you don't have a board in the early fight either way. That's fair, yeah. If your board is complete trash, just play knee brace to get 100 life. Yeah, we can either get more freeze or more monitor lizard poisons. Or more hastes. How many other junk items do you want to play? Not very many, but most of them have their uses. Like, Bracer, the whole use of Bracer is around the either cooldown exploits or level up trickery.
Make deals, not war.
Dooley means, I mean, playing stuff like my current Poison Dooley board. Yes. Yes, I do. We are trying stuff that I don't think is going to be very good, but could be cool. Yeah.
My fight isn't
Boots
with
and
you.
Shed both can end up on the board. There are some 4 cooldown weapons that end up on a surprising amount of boards. What is this? Day 7 spices. Ugh. It's unique. You give it a pass, but you see it being simplified later because it's not an obvious mechanic. Yeah. Are we winning?
My crew says at the bar. Another round.
I guess they have no haste. I didn't think we were beating 2 ammo spices on day 7. You go, Brick Buddy. Glad we upgraded you.
You've just taken the first step toward good
Any
taste.
item that I think is irredeemable. The bad Dooley Frost item. Because there are 2 items that are strictly better than it, and I don't know why it exists. I don't know why they think Dooley needs that much of a critical mass of freeze items that he needs one that is just worse than the others. Yeah, like, it's not a mechanic that you should have a critical mass of. It's a bad item. Yeah, but, like, why are we designing characters to have critical masses of freeze items like that? It's not like the other 2 aren't good. Do we need a backup option for a backup of the backup option for freeze? What about Gearnola? I played a good amount. It's an early game item. It just gives a lot of shield. It's pretty fast. It triggers your core early in the fight. Like, Hamlet's an item that never ends up on my board, but at least I dream about putting it on my board someday. I don't have an Aiden yet. If I get an enchant, I am going to want to have this laying around. I don't think I play it over the smalls. Yeah, but you can have bad in a way that isn't just strictly worse versions of other items. Like, bad items are fine. I don't know if uninteresting items are fine. Like, you should at least have to think about it a little bit to come to the conclusion that something is bad. But, like, you read Coolant, and then you read the... I don't remember what it's called. The Freezer... Isochoric Freezer, I think? Isochoric Ray?
I am not.
No, it's not a Ray. But, like... It's slower, it freezes less, and starts at a higher tier. And it doesn't remove your burn. Think that does anything?
Things are so dull. Let me brighten them.
Oh, wait, should I be... Wait, this thing also gets good enchants, right? God, I have no respect for Monitor Lizard. It is crazy how little respect for Monitor Lizard I have. What does this thing enchant to? When you haste freeze, when you haste slow, when you haste heal, shield, burn 2, and then race Carl. They're pretty much the same. Let's put it on the one that I already have. Not amazing now, but this does enable a bunch of skills. Came here to get away from Hearthstone. Welcome, welcome. I heard Battlegrounds had quite the patch. Or is having quite the patch. Maybe it's not out yet. It's good now, right, Mos? Oh! Right. But my fiber optics. Guess I can do that.
Discounts for peace.
Core leftmost. Then I can't have the Brick Buddy on the core. Maybe I'm overvaluing the Brick Buddy scaling, but it felt pretty important. I guess now it doesn't matter. With this thing. Yeah. Okay, sure. This is still better. Why a bronze? It's the 8. We're just memeing around the unranked. Having a good time. Oh, you want a leftmost core. I guess that makes sense. Oh, one of these positioning is correct. I'm not sure which one. Let's try this.
My people believe in peace.
Oh.
Boring!
That's fine. It's fine.
Well, I guess motivation isn't everything.
Give me something cool. 24? Can do that. Let's fight the monster. Probably you. What does this do? When you slow heal. I think I would rather have more freeze than more poison. Buddy was also a great option. I think the amount of shield that we're getting from the Brick Buddy is just going to be less than we're getting from the Monitor Lizard. Like, as soon as we get a scaling shield skill, this could even just come out of play. Whereas I'm pretty sure the Beta Ray is in play for the rest of the game. I mean, I could look. Building Crescendo, I guess, is not doing anything. What even can crit here? My Brick Buddy can crit, my Copperhead can crit, and my Chris Army Knife can crit. Okay, Curio, what do you got for me?
Recycle. Relax.
Do they plan in the future to where it is sync multiplayer? They've said some things where they're considering it. Who knows when? Reynard has said he wants the ability for there to be community tournaments, and I'm not sure how you would do that if there's not a real-time mode. But I don't know where it is on the list of priorities.
Forms my rusty circuits to see that find a home. While you're doing your part to clean up the bazaar.
Was not a very good curio. You don't think real-time is needed for most casual play? Yeah, I think async is a better casual experience, for sure.
That's been sitting there 20 years. Wait,
I think it's a significantly worse competitive experience, though. Both for the people that want to, like, grind the ladder and feel like their rank matters, and you can't really run async tournaments. Wait for everyone to finish their days before PvP can start. Yeah, it would be something like that. It'd be something like that.
Come with no weapons?
You'll need to sync everyone up for the firefight. You. Seven-second cooldown. Silver item. Freeze 1 item for 1 second. Coolant. Bronze item. 6-second cooldown. Freeze 1 item for 1 second. Remove half your burn. The really sad part about this item is I have put it on my board before. Which is kind of how good freeze items are. I just kind of wish that it wasn't what it is. Just you would think the slower high rarity one, like, at least swap the rarities, right? Like, if you want one to be bad, can you at least have the bad one be the bronze one? And that's why we buy HP. The slower ones scale with upgrade. I'm pretty sure it is worse at every level. Yeah, it just gets +1 free second. Yeah, the rare actual strictly worse. Okay, I guess there are builds that care about you having burn on you, so the extra ability on Coolant can be a downside. But, come on.
If you have to
Let's
ask
be
for
real.
price, you can't afford it. Remember, diamonds come in small boxes.
How did they upgrade this? I'm just playing Chris Army. It's faster. Their weather draw should count as wins. Why not?
Put you in freezer. Eat later.
I think the more egregious asymmetry is not even that, it's being able to see what hero you're going against. Like, that has potential to lead to some really messed up stuff. Where, like, your opponent is teched for one fight because they went in fighting a pig, and you get to tech for them.
Good fighter.
Rather than just everyone playing the board that is overall the best. Oh, good night, Axel. You definitely swapped around items with... Yeah. Like, it's pretty common that you'll have, like, an item on your board for when you fight a pig, or for when you fight a Vanessa. Where are my good things? This is kind of fine. I don't know if I'm gonna have more life. It's life. Yeah, they want to have combat logs for the release, I think they said.
Are you sure? Have you noticed I'm huge?
It makes sense to favor the player rather than the opponent's ghost in tiebreakers. Yeah, for tiebreakers, sure. That's kind of what I mean. Like, it's fine for tiebreakers. I don't know how big of a fan I am of it for, like, just having information going into the fight. I guess maybe... Okay, I'm actually not sure how it works. Does your ghost always fight the same character that you fought? I guess if so. It's not that big of a deal.
Next time I'll show you what I learned from this.
Other games you think both players teching can be cool? Yeah, I agree. It's just in async, you're not going to have both players teching. Only one player has the opportunity to tech. Because the other player's not there. That's part of why I like real-time games a lot more than the async games. Or I guess synchronous versus the async. How it would feel if you saw the skills before weapons? Yeah, it would be a bit different. It would change the starting dynamics a lot.
The world is pretty scary. You might want some
Shielded
armor.
cool LEDs. Huh. temporary buff doesn't update until you enter the next combat. It was the temporary buff from the day before. Are we? Okay, no. No, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah. I can occasionally take the Void Golem fight, but it's rare. Oh, am I just throwing this on the first Aiden? Goodbye, Burn. Nice knowing you. Just better.
My lessons are painful. Are you prepared?
Sad. We'll do better. Not currently hasting the core, right? Just hasting everything else.
As long as you draw breath, your training is not complete.
Lizard would always haste the core? Wait, would it? Can't haste go on something that already has haste, or does it target smartly?
My dreams are too big for you to steal.
Huh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Kinda cool. No! Okay.
See you're going places, but I'll be chasing you.
Scary close. I think we lose that if I didn't put the LEDs in. I think we needed the extra slows.
You look at me, we fight. Ain't good, make stronger.
I mean, this build's pretty cool. There's a lot of poison. Hmm.
Cast aside your deathstruments! I feel like that decision comes from a negative place.
We did it! We found shield scaling. Don't look so bad. I mean, yeah, it was a pig board. What are you expecting Pig to do this patch? Don't make fun of him too much, he's trying. shield skills are overtuned? Yeah, wildly. Wildly overtuned. Well, that was a cool run. Lots of enchants. Love to see it. Multiple shield enchants with defensive scaling. Kinda nasty. Okay, I'm gonna take a